Hello, this is Don O'Malley with Don's Breakfast Cereal Show, and thanks for tuning in to our Halloween special. Now, there are no cereals that were actually made for Halloween, so we picked the Devil Bat with Bela Lugosi, who has appeared in several cereals over the year, and then we threw in the Bat also for Halloween. And I hope you enjoy what we've done to the Devil Bat. So let us know, and here we go with the show. Thanks for tuning in.
He wants to play some more. Yeah. What's up, Croc?
Our theory of glandular stimulation through electrical impulses was correct. A few days ago, you were as small as your companion. And now look at you.
What an imbecile. What an ultramaroon.
Nutty as a fruitcake.
We're gonna have roast rabbit. We're gonna have roast rabbit. We're gonna have roast rabbit.
We're gonna have roast rabbit. We're gonna have roast... Oh.
Oh, no. I don't believe it. I gotta get a worm's eye view of this.
Ooh, I'm dying!
Smart boy, got a mind like a steel trap, full of mice.
What's going on here?
Wait, hold it, hold it. Got this on the wrong end.
Say something. Explain yourself.
Hello?
Your tongue's flapping, but no noise is coming out of your big mouth.
Yeah, this is Heath. Henry Moore and I are having a little get-together at my home tonight. We want you to come.
Why, that's nice of you, and I appreciate it. But I'm very busy working on a formula for a new shaving lotion.
Oh, but Doc, this is my daughter's idea. And she's going to be awfully disappointed if you don't show up.
Don't take no for an answer. Make him come.
Yeah, you see, it's a sort of a special occasion.
I bet Mary is going to announce her engagement to that young rascal, Don Morton. Tell her I'll be there. Goodbye.
Well, it's all arranged. He's coming.
He's going to be surprised when he finds the special occasion that's to present him with this bonus check.
$5,000.
What was that?
Good. You have not forgotten. You hate this strange oriental fragrance even while you sleep. Just as you did before I made you big and strong. Now, if you detect a fragrance in the night, and you're fully awake, you will strike. Yes, you will strike to kill.
Well, Doc's late. Wonder if he's been called out on a case.
Perhaps I'd better phone him.
Now remember, Roy, Tommy, you're not to mention anything about this bonus for the Doc until after your father has presented it.
Have you warned those two lovebirds over there?
Perhaps I'd better. I want to caution both of you.
Not to say a word about the check.
Until you're ready to spring it on him.
Your father will make the presentation, Mary.
Why don't you unveil it like a statue? Then we could all be in on it.
You know, I think it'd be a better idea to put it in a bottle and launch him with it.
Any of this
Gotten
getting
that
through to your
idea out of the
son?
bottle.
Well, the Doc isn't coming. What?
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, he just got busy with his new formula and forgot all about us.
He'd forget the formula if he knew about that $5,000 check.
Well, why don't we all go up there and give it to him?
No, I wouldn't do that. He doesn't like visitors when he's experimenting.
Well, Roy can take the check up to him.
Sure, I'll take it. Shall I make the doc a speech when I give it to him?
You won't have to, Roy. The check speaks for itself.
Yeah, and says a mouthful.
Son, tell the doc we're awfully sorry he can't be with us, but of course we understand how busy he is.
All right.
Just a minute, Roy, and I'll be with you. That's it, all right. Now, what can I do for you?
We were all sorry you couldn't be there tonight.
Yes, but you see, I'm busy. Something important, very important.
Yes, of course. Mr. Morton and Dad had planned a little surprise for you.
A surprise?
It's in here.
Well, let's see what it is. $5,000. What's this for?
Just a little token of the firm's appreciation.
Oh, I see. A bonus. Well, it's awfully nice of you, Father and Mr. Morton. I will thank them personally tomorrow.
I'll tell them, Doctor.
Well, aren't you curious about my new formula?
Yes, of course, only I didn't want to be inquisitive. What is it?
A new shaving lotion. Smell it.
Pretty strong, isn't it?
No. The scent evaporates a short time after you've used it. Try a few drops. Now rub it on the tender part of your neck. Here. Soothing, isn't it?
Yes. When will it be ready for the market?
Oh, it's still in the experimental stage. I want to try it out on several people first and see if it works.
Well, if you'd like to send me a bottle, I'll be glad to try it for you.
Thanks.
Good night,
Go
Doctor.
away, boy. You bother me. I got work to do.
Roy.
That boy's just like a tattoo. Gets under your skin.
Lovely check, isn't it, Doctor? They are wealthy because of you. You made them rich, Doctor. It was your formula. Tonight they gave you $5,000 and wanted you to come down to their house and thank them for it. That was your money they gave you, like a bone tossed to a faithful dog. You should be very
Boy,
grateful.
am I glad you happened along. I was worried about what to do with this.
Thanks to you. And what have you got, Doctor?
Tonight you have work to do. It's time you were on your way.
Mary, tonight's a good time while our families are here to announce our engagement.
Look, Don, I've loved you a long time, ever since we were kids. But I'm afraid it's been more like a sister.
Well, I had no idea you felt that way.
better call Dr. Carruthers.
Oh, please hurry.
There's nothing I can do.
You mean he's dead?
Yes, I better call the coroner.
You think it's murder?
I don't know. I never saw anything like it before. The jugular vein is severed.
Send Johnny Layton in here.
Well, what have I done now? Who wants me fired this time?
Nobody yet, but it's still early. This came in from Heathville. It's a mystery killing. Old Martin Heath's son.
Who's Martin Heath?
I knew I should have taken that lift
Say,
between
have
the
you ever had a
Albuquerque.
date with a girl?
A girl? Oh, yes, a girl. I believe I did take a girl out once.
Well, did she smell sweet?
Of course she smells sweet. Most girls do.
Well, that's because of Martin Heath Cosmetics Limited. They make all that goo that the women put on their faces so they won't have to wash them with soap and water.
I get it. A big man, huh?
Yes, and a big advertising account. Grab yourself a photographer and get along over there to Heathville. The coroner's holding an inquest. Find out who really killed old man Heath's son.
Okay, McGetty, I'm on my way.
Goodbye now. Don't forget to write.
Chief Wilkins?
Yeah?
I'm Johnny Layton of the Chicago Register.
Glad to see you.
And this is my cameraman, One Shot McGuire.
Hi, Chief.
Howdy.
Say, we're down here to cover that Heath murder, but we didn't get much information at the coroner's inquest. I thought maybe you might be able to help us.
Well, I'm always glad to cooperate with the newspapers, providing they cooperate with me.
That's the policy of our paper.
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't got very far with this thing myself. Oh, here's something that might interest you. It's a picture of the victim's wounds. You'll be able to see it better with this glass.
Are these scratches on the neck and shoulders?
Yes, but we can't determine the source. They're too deep for fingernails, too shallow to have been made by a knife. They're more like claws.
That sort of bears out Dr. Carruthers' theory at the inquest of a wild animal. Have there been any circuses around here lately?
No.
Heard of any animal escaping from a zoo?
No.
Couldn't have been one of those African leopard men. They use steel claws.
This isn't Africa.
Okay, Chief, I was just trying to help.
Chief, are you sure there's no clue you're holding back while investigating?
Well, since you're going to work with me on this case, there is a clue, and a very weird one. The autopsy surgeon says that such wounds could have been made by the beak and talons of a bird.
A bird? Why, there aren't any birds around here big enough to attack a man.
How about an eagle?
We know it wasn't a bird.
How do you know that?
Because we found several hairs on the shoulder of Heath's coat.
Ah, Chauchet La Femme.
They're not human hairs.
What kind are they?
Well, it may sound silly, but the laboratory test shows that they were from a mouse.
Well, who ever heard of a mouse big enough to kill a man?
Say, a bat has hair like a mouse.
Well, the only bats around here are no bigger than sparrows. There was a peculiar odor about the wounds, but they were so faint and elusive that the police chemists have been unable to identify it.
Then it does give us something to work on.
Well, the scent was a clue. It's been destroyed by evaporation.
Say, Chief, do you mind if I do a little sleuthing around on my own account?
Certainly not. Go ahead. If I can help you any, why...
You can. Miss Heath seems to be the nearest to an eyewitness of the crime. I'd like to have a talk with her. Can you arrange it?
I think I can.
Well, Dr. Carruthers refused to let her speak to us. We tried that this morning at the inquest.
Well, don't you worry about Dr. Carruthers. He's one of the finest men in Heathville. He just thought you'd add to Mary's grief so you could get sensational newspaper stories. I'll arrange an interview.
Thanks, Chief. I'll keep in touch with you.
All right. 48J.
Miss Heath, did your brother have any enemies that you know of?
Why, no. Everybody in the village liked Roy.
Well, what did he do at the factory?
He had charge of the experimental department where the new products are developed. Oh, here comes Dr. Crothers. Hello, Doctor.
Hello, Mary. I took a shortcut from my laboratory through a garden hedge.
You met Dr. Crothers at the inquest this morning.
Yes. Mr. Layton, I hope you'll forgive me if I seemed a little abrupt. But I'm fond of Mary. And considering the ordeal she already went through, I wanted to protect her from dwelling too much of a tragedy.
Of course. You were quite right.
We're working on the case for the police now.
Yes, I understand. Chief Wilkins phoned me. And if I can be of any assistance, just call on me.
Thanks.
Won't you sit down?
Shall I serve, mademoiselle?
No, Maxine, I'll do it. You may go now.
Oui, mademoiselle.
Nice girl, but about as sharp as a sack of wet mice.
Do you take sugar, Mr. McGuire?
Huh? Oh, no, ma'am, never. In fact, I don't even take tea. If you'll just deal me out, I'll take a look around. I may dig up a clue.
What do you think of Dr. Crothers' theory about a wild animal, Mr. Layton?
Well, frankly, I don't think much of it.
I can't say that I blame you. But I, as a scientist, take many things into consideration a layman might overlook.
For instance?
The jagged nature of the wound, the rapidity with which the murderer escaped, the scratches from talons or claws.
But when an animal attacks a human, there's bound to be a lot of noise. You heard Miss Heath testify there was no sound of a struggle.
No. Only those awful screams.
It's very puzzling, very mystifying.
Doctor, when you last saw Roy, did he seem worried or nervous or moody?
No, not at all. On the contrary. He was in the best of spirits.
Well, I've got to get back to the village now and file my story. You'll excuse me?
If you find it necessary for us to talk again, you may come back at any time.
This evening, if it's all right with you. I'd like to spend some time here.
Why, yes, that'll be quite all right.
Thank you. Goodbye, Miss Heath.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Doctor.
A little more chiffon, baby.
I do not understand.
Oh, you know what I mean. A little more your stocking.
Now, hold on. That was a joke, girl.
Like these?
Sure, I like 'em. Who wouldn't? Now, hold nice and still, because this is going to take a little time.
Well, if you're going to shoot, shoot.
Right away, Johnny. I was just trying to get the focus.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. And not bad, either. I'll be back in a minute, Frenchie. And don't worry none about those werewolves, because nothing's going to harm you while I'm around here.
You make Maxine feel so calm. My big, brave journalist.
This is my idea of nothing at all. Sitting here waiting for an animal to give us an argument. Look at that moon. And I had a date with Frenchie.
Oh, stop crabbing. We're supposed to solve a murder. You,
Big, brave journalist.
This is the first time I've ever been invited anywhere and asked not to shave until after I get there.
I wanted to observe your exact reaction when you tried the lotion.
Oh, now I understand.
I want this lotion to be perfect before turning it over to you to be marketed. Here.
It's a little strong. That'll make the customers think they're getting their money's worth. Oh, that feels great. Very soothing.
I don't think you ever use anything else.
Well, we wouldn't want to market anything we wouldn't use ourselves. That almost smells good enough to be used as a cologne. Oh, what's the matter, Doc? Can't you stand your own lotion?
I have a violent dislike for perfumes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, Tommy.
Good night, Doc.
Goodbye, Tommy.
Come on out of there, whoever you are.
I knew I should have taken a right at Albuquerque. Try again.
Go away, boy. You bother me.
What are you doing out here, Miss Heath?
I thought you might want some company. Shall we sit down?
You know, you shouldn't be wandering around the garden at night after what's happened.
Neither should you.
Well, but it's part of my job.
Mine, too. Roy was my brother. Be careful, I think it's Tommy.
I'd better play it cagey.
Hello, Tommy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Tommy.
darling.
What's up, sis?
Mr. Layton wanted to stay in the garden for a while, so I joined him.
Don't tell me you're waiting for that animal Dr. Carruthers mentioned.
So you don't believe it either?
I certainly do not. It's ridiculous.
But somebody or something killed your brother.
And I suppose you're working on the theory that the murderer always returns to the scene of the crime.
Perhaps I am.
Well, not for me. If you'll take my advice, Mary, you'll leave these gentlemen to their vigil and go to bed. That's what I'm going to do. Good night.
Good night, Tommy. I don't think your brother likes my being here.
Oh, you mustn't mind Tommy. We're all terribly upset.
I know.
Scared? Me? Of course I'm not scared.
Tommy!
Come on.
Hey, look, fellas, I'm an airplane. I refuse to look up any more reference because you talked mean to me.
I saw it kill Tommy Heath.
Listen, Johnny, I want you and One Shot to come on home or I'll fire both of you.
I'm not coming home, and neither is One Shot. I'm keeping him here to get a picture of the Devil Bat. Say, that'll look great in the headlines. Devil Bat strikes again.
Listen, don't tell me it had horns. Maybe I better send a wagon with the steel bars and the strong boys with the straitjackets.
Look, Joe, have I ever lied to you?
Plenty of times.
Well, I'm not lying this time. If it ever got out that I cooked up a fake story about a devil bat, I wouldn't be able to get a job on a country weekly. Print the story, Joe. So help me, it's on the level.
All right, I'll print it. But I won't believe it not till One Shot gets me a picture of that devil bat in action.
Don't worry, he'll get it. Goodbye.
Like beating a dead horse. He's got no get up and go.
How?
Have you noticed there's a taxidermy shop in the village?
Well, you wouldn't suggest that I go out and stuff a bird, would you?
One Shot. To think that you'd even hint that I would suggest you have the village taxidermist build you a nice big bat for pictorial purposes. Besides, a bat isn't a bird, it's a mammal.
Well, why didn't you say so in the first place? Where is this bird stuffing emporium? Oh, down on Cottage Grove Avenue.
Look, sister, is any of this filtering through that little blue bonnet of yours?
Now, here's the idea, Frenchie. You hang on to the bat till I get my camera set up. And when I raise my hand, you give the bat a good shove, and it'll swing out just like it's flying. Then I can get a swell picture from my boss. Get it?
Oui. I am wise, no?
No. But hang on to the bat until I raise my hand, huh?
There you are, sister. Have fun.
Sherry, are you hurt?
Say, what's the idea of breaking up my devil bat? I'm going to make you pay for that.
And I'm going to take you to jail until you explain this. Come on.
You can't do that.
Doing it.
I was just conducting a little experiment, trying to find out how the devil bat does his killing.
I'm sure McGuire didn't intend doing anything wrong. He's just a little overzealous about his work.
I gotta straighten this lad out. Thing like this could warp his mind for life.
He's going to be the next victim. I don't want any more trouble stirred up, even with an artificial bat.
You'd better get back to the hotel. I want to talk to the chief alone.
Is it all right, Chief?
Yeah, but be careful in the future.
Ever smelled anything like this before?
Well, yes. That's the same stuff that's been on every one of the devil bat's victims. Where'd you get it?
Found it in Don Morton's bathroom.
Find out where Morton got it?
No, I didn't want to arouse suspicion by asking questions till after it's been analyzed.
You think it has any connection with the murders?
Why, certainly.
That's the way it strikes me, but I can't figure out how.
I'll get the police chemist on it right away.
I'll snoop around, see if I can find out where Morton got it.
Well, it probably came from down at the Heath Cosmetic plant. I've men working on a theory of a disgruntled factory employee committing the crimes.
It's certainly more than coincidental that all the victims have been members of the Heath and Morton families.
Yeah. Looks like a plot to wipe them all out.
I wish the rest of them would leave town until this crime is solved.
You're worried about Mary, aren't you?
Well, yes. I've been urging her to leave, but she won't go without her father. And he insists on remaining here to help clear up the crime.
And worse than that, neither Heath nor Morton will let me give them a bodyguard.
I guess we'll just have to wait for something to break. Good night, Chief.
Good night, Johnny.
Boy, have I got a picture that'll knock McGinty dead. Meet the devil bat.
Well, how about that wire? Looks as if the bat's on a flying trapeze.
Oh, but I'm not through working on it yet. See, I can touch this picture up so the bat will look like he's got nothing around him but nothing.
Okay, Rembrandt. You win.
This is your news commentator, Walter King. Tonight we're broadcasting from the little village of Heathville, where an alleged devil bat has claimed 3 victims during the past 6 weeks. You will note that I say alleged devil bat. That, ladies and gentlemen, is because your correspondent has been very skeptical from the start as to the existence of this horrendous creature. I have as my guest in the studio tonight Professor Percival Garland Rains, perhaps the world's greatest authority on animal life. I'm going to interview Professor Rains on the subject of the devil bat. Our radio audience may draw its own conclusions. Professor Rains, first let me ask you, point blank, do you believe that any such creature as the devil bat exists?
I do not.
He's got a nerve.
Quiet.
In the Dark Ages, when men and women lived in caves, there may have existed a bat of this size. But not in this day and age.
How do you account for the fact that Mary Heath, whose 2 brothers were victims of the devil bat, and a newspaper reporter, John Layton, claim to have seen this amazing creature?
Sometimes under stress of excitement, our minds play tricks on us.
Hey, he's insinuating you saw the little bat that wasn't there.
Pipe down. But how about the picture of the devil bat published by Mr. Layton's paper?
I examined that picture under a powerful magnifying glass. I denounce it as a fraud.
Houston, we have a problem.
Whoever constructed the strange-looking monster forgot to remove a label from the silk. From the silk used on its left wing. That label reads, Made in Japan.
Put through a hurry call to Heathville. I want to talk to Johnny Layton. He's at the Heathville Hotel.
One guess who that is.
Yeah, McGinty.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Make my day.
So you slipped over a fake picture on me, huh? Well, you're fired, both of you. And I'll see to it that you never work on another newspaper as long as I live. Made in Japan. You tell One-Shot McGuire he ought to be snapping photos in a booby hatch. Both of you, come on in and get your final checks.
Oh, no. We're not coming in to get anything. All right, so we're fired. But we're staying here just the same. I saw that bat.
We're going to stay here till we catch that bat, and when we do, I'm going to bring it in and stuff it down your throat. Goodbye.
Well, we're fired.
Again. That's him calling back to apologize. Now, you give him a good scare.
No use begging us to go to work for you again, McGinty. You fired us and we're staying fired. Oh, Mary, I thought it was somebody else.
Johnny, why did you make a joke of a tragic thing like this?
But it wasn't intended as a joke, Mary. I was only trying to get the news.
I suppose you call it getting the news when you arrange to print a picture that's a deliberate hoax that has the entire country laughing. A grand joke, Johnny, but somehow I can't appreciate it.
But I can explain that picture.
Don't try, Johnny.
Made in Japan. I ought to skin you alive and nail your hide to a barn door.
Here's the chemist report on that shaving lotion.
I see you couldn't break down one of the ingredients.
Yes, he said it must be some element with which he's not familiar.
We won't get anywhere until we identify it.
There's just one other man in this town that might be able to help us. Dr. Carruthers.
Yeah, Carruthers could help us. I found out he compounded that lotion.
Well, if you suspect Carruthers, you're barking up the wrong tree, Johnny. He's the last man in this town that would harm anyone. Why, everybody loves him.
Maybe so. But here's something else I dug up. The Heath and Morton fortunes are based on a greaseless cold cream formula Dr. Carruthers invented.
So what?
All the doctor got out of it was $10,000, and the others made a fortune.
Well, it's common knowledge that he sold out for cash when he could have had an interest in the firm.
Just the same, every victim had this stuff from his laboratory on him.
Maybe you've been working too hard on this case, Johnny.
I'd like to get his reaction on the stuff. If he denies knowing anything about it, we'll know there's a tie-up somewhere.
I think you're balmy. But just to show you that I'm following up every clue, we'll talk to him.
We'll, put this in another bottle, and without telling him we know he compounded it, ask him to analyze it.
Doc, I hope we're not upsetting your work barging in on you this way.
No, not at all. I'm anxious to help solve these crimes. All the victims were very dear friends of mine.
Here's a sample of the stuff young Morton and the two Heath boys had on them when they were attacked by the devil bat.
Of course, it doesn't make sense to me that a bird would choose only people using that particular stuff.
A bat is not a bird. It's a mammal.
Well, anyway, our police chemist couldn't break down one of the ingredients. We thought perhaps you could.
Why, I compounded this myself. It's a new shaving lotion I'm experimenting with. The ingredient your chemist couldn't break down, I discovered years ago in Tibet.
How did you happen to put it in a shaving lotion?
Oh, the lamas use it in some of their religious rites as a perfume. The scent is very pleasant and can be imitated by competitors.
But what were Don Morton and the two Heath boys doing with the stuff?
Oh, it is the policy of our firm to try out any new product before marketing it.
Well, that knocks our theory into a cocked hat.
Yeah. We were hoping the unknown ingredient might turn out to be some sort of a clue.
This isn't the kind of bottle I give it out in, but I presume your chemist changed it when making the analysis.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I can do to help?
Tell me, did you hear Professor Raines on the radio last night?
Yes. It was very interesting and very asinine.
You mean you believe there is a devil bat?
Why not? You saw it, didn't you?
Well, sure I did. So did Mary.
Then why worry about what one scientist says?
That one scientist got me fired.
Oh, you mean your newspaper discharged you?
That's right.
Oh, that's too bad. Then you're believing Heathville before the mystery is solved.
I'm afraid not. I'm going to stay here and work with the chief.
Since you're going to stay here for a while, I would like you to try out a bottle of the new lotion and tell me how you like it. And you too, Chief.
No, not me, Doc. If my wife ever smelled perfume on me, she'd suspect me sure.
Well, Mr. Layton, I understand you are not married.
All right, I'll try it in the morning when I shave. I guess we better be going, Chief.
See you later, Doc.
So long, Dr. Crothers.
Goodbye, Mr. Layton.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
Put you to sleep?
Well, why'd you tell the doc you're gonna use it if you think it's smelly?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I was a little ashamed of ever suspecting the old duck.
Well, I like it, and I'm gonna tell him so. What time is it?
After midnight.
Midnight? Oh, there ain't no use of waiting around here any longer. This must be the bat's night off.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Get that camera ready.
You got him. Listen, Johnny, I'm gonna cook that bird personally for McGinney, and I'll even stuff it myself.
Still skeptical when I came to Heathville today to examine the body of this so-called devil bat. But after seeing it personally and making exhaustive research, I've arrived at the conclusion that the creature is the lone survivor of a type of giant bat which existed in great numbers during the early part of the Neolithic age. Perhaps I should explain for the benefit of some of our listeners that the Neolithic age is that period of antiquity commonly called the Stone Age.
Imbecile, bombastic ignoramus.
I'd horsewhip you if I had a horse.
Sorry, McGinty, but One Shot and I are not interested. At your prices. Of course, if there was a raise of, say, $30 plus a fat bonus, we might consider it.
You're hold-up men, both of you. I refuse to be robbed.
Have it your way, McGinty. Have it your way. But we have the bat's corpus delicti and the exclusive picture. Of course, I've got an eyewitness story that 2 syndicates are bidding for.
And don't forget, you gotta pay us for the time we were fired.
That's better. Now you're talking, boss. Okay, we're working for you again. We'll gather up the loose ends and see you in a couple of days. Goodbye. Come in.
Hello, Johnny.
Well, Mary.
Johnny, I came to tell you that I'm sorry I said what I did the last time we talked. Do you suppose... well, I don't know how to say it, but...
I do.
We three would make an ideal
Miss
couple.
Heath, do you suppose that little French girl would apologize to me if I looked her up?
Positive she would.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
You've got the brain of a 4-year-old boy, and I bet he was glad to get rid of it.
Splendid. You will be even greater than your unfortunate predecessor. Enraged, aren't you? Fine. I'm enraged also. Tonight I shall call on Henry Morton, and you shall strike him down.
Henry, the lotion has turned out to be better than I had hoped. I want you to try it.
Well, just leave it here, Doc, and then I'll try it in the morning after shaving.
Smells good, doesn't it?
Yes, but isn't it too strong?
No, no, no. Evaporation quickly tones it down just to the right scent. Rub a few drops on your face.
Well, I'd rather wait until after I shave. Then my skin will be more tender and receptive to a lotion.
Just a little here. The texture of the skin there is always very delicate. I give you a few drops in your hand.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't.
I hope you're right about that scent evaporating quickly. I smell the high heavens.
Perhaps that will be the secret of its success.
Well, you can never tell what's going to happen in this business.
You can believe me, Henry. You don't have to worry.
Yes, I can believe that, Doc. All of your formulas have been highly successful. Oh, I've been going over the report of the company's annual earnings. A net profit of over $1 million. Not bad, eh? When you remember what we built on. A mere $10,000 for your formula. You shouldn't have demanded all cash, Doc. You should have ridden along with us. Then you'd be rich, too. Oh, but then you've had a lot of fun in your laboratory with your experiments, dreaming up something new. You're a dreamer, Doc. Too much money is bad for dreamers.
So you try to pay me in flattery, telling me that I'm a dreamer. Well, I do dream. Dreams that you could never guess.
You're heading for a breakdown. Why don't you pull yourself to pieces?
Your nerves are frayed, Doc. Now calm down. Get a grip on yourself. You've been working too hard on your formula.
Formula. That's but child's play for a great scientist. Your brain is too feeble to conceive what I have accomplished in the realm of science.
Doc, you've made some great scientific discovery. What is it?
When you'll find out, Henry, it'll be too late for you.
Oh, come, Doc. You can't pretend to control a man's destiny.
I've already proved it 3 times. I'm sorry. Perhaps you're right, Henry, about my working too hard. I guess I'm a little tired. I better go home and get some rest.
Sure. A night's sleep will do you good. Good night, Doc.
Goodbye, Henry.
$36J.
Hello?
Oh, that's you, Martin?
Yes, Henry.
I want you to call Chief of Police Wilkins to come to your house immediately. It's very important.
Chief's here now.
Well, don't let him leave until I get there.
What on earth's happened?
I think I've got a clue to all those murders. It may peter out, but if half what I suspect is true, it's the most diabolical plot that a madman ever concocted.
What is it?
Talk about the absent-minded professor. I forgot my hat.
Henry, what is it?
I'll tell you all about it when I get there.
I hope I didn't intrude on a private conversation.
No, nothing important.
I hope Henry was right about having a clue. But why didn't he explain more about it when he phoned?
When I insisted, he changed his tone as if he'd been interrupted. I was afraid that he might be overheard. What is that squeaky sound?
Oh, just some night noise.
Help!
Either he's dead or my watch has stopped.
I feel much better, Mr. Heath, since you asked us to stay in your home until this new devil bat has been killed. I've been worried about Mary.
What reason have you to believe that Mary is in danger?
Remember, you're fighting for this woman's honor, which is probably more than she ever did.
Someone is using the bat to wipe out the entire Heath and Morton families.
As a scientist, I assure you, the thought of a human controlling a bat is fantastic.
Just the same, no villager's been killed or even attacked.
You're forgetting, aren't you, that Mr. McGuire was attacked. He's not a member of either family.
Why, I'm practically a member of this family already. I'm going to marry Miss Heath's maid.
Oh, really? Well, boys, I'll have Maxine show you to your rooms.
I must be running along home. It's past my bedtime. Good night, gentlemen. Good night, Martin.
Good night,
Good
Doc.
night, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mary.
Come along. Maxine?
Oui, mademoiselle.
Did you fill my perfume bottles with something new?
Oh, no, mademoiselle. I never touch your perfume.
It's funny. I don't recognize it. Perhaps Dad filled them as a surprise. He always does that with every new perfume the plant puts out.
Is there anything else?
No, Maxine, that's all. Good night.
Good night, mademoiselle.
Mary, what happened?
It was trying to get in the window. A big bat. Oh, it was awful.
Mary, I want you to tell me everything you did just before that bat tried to get in.
Well, first I took a bath. Then I brushed my hair, and Maxine came in and turned the covers down. And then fastened the screen, which somehow had come unhooked.
Yeah? Go ahead, what else?
Well, then we talked about some new perfume that someone had put in my dressing table bottles. Dad, did you put any new perfume in my bottles?
No, I didn't.
Is this the stuff?
Yes.
Johnny, this smells like...
Hey, quiet. I've got a hunch that I want to follow up, and I'll need everybody's cooperation.
We'll do everything we can.
Of course.
What's Carruthers' number?
48J.
Operator, give me 48J, please. Hello, Dr. Carruthers. This is Johnny Layton. That's right. Something terrible has happened to Mary. Can you hurry over?
I'll be right there.
Good.
Oh, Johnny, I'm all right. I don't need a doctor.
That's where the cooperation part comes in, Mary. You'll have to pretend to be a nervous wreck. Mr. Heath, you in one shot must help her trick Dr. Carruthers into staying here as long as you can.
Where are you going, Johnny?
To, do a little private bat hunting.
The devil bat tried to get through that window.
If she's suffering from fright, I give her a sedative. Where's Mr. Layton?
Well, I guess he's out in the garden hunting the double bat.
Layton is a very brave young man. Give Miss Heath one of these every half an hour.
Oui, doctor.
It will quieten her nerves.
But, Doc, hadn't you better stay until she's quieter?
She'll be all right in the morning.
Hey, Doc, I don't feel so good myself. Would you mind taking my temperature?
You look perfectly well, Mr. McGuire.
Well, you ought to see my tongue. It looks just like a squirrel's tail. Look.
Try some calomel. may have visitors tonight. And it would be dangerous for me if they found you here.
Hi, Doc. I hope I'm not intruding.
No, no, not at all. I heard you were out stalking the devil bat. Any success?
No, but I thought maybe you might be able to help me.
Well, I don't see how that's possible, but if you can suggest anything...
Well, you could give me some more of that new concoction of yours, that shaving lotion.
But how on earth could that possibly help catch the devil bat?
I've still got a crazy idea that if I douse myself with it, it might attract the killer.
I don't see how you can connect the two. But there is a bottle of the lotion on the table.
Thanks.
Hey, don't drink that poison. That's $4 an ounce.
You see, Doc, I figured out something. All four of the murdered people had this lotion on them when the devil bat struck. Now, my plan is to sit in the garden, and when the killer makes one of those power dives, I'll blast him.
Leighton, I'm afraid all these murders have affected your mind.
Maybe you'd like to come along, Doc, and be an eyewitness.
I'm sure it would be just a waste of time, but I'd be glad to watch your experiment.
Good. I knew I could count on you to help me.
I tell you, Leighton, expecting a bat to be attracted by the scent of a lotion is all foolishness. I think I better run around.
Ah, sit down, Doc. The devil bat's behind schedule tonight. You aren't very chummy tonight. What's the matter?
Firearms always make me nervous.
Oh, I thought maybe you didn't want to be sitting too close to me. Just in case the devil bat does show up.
According to your theory, the killer wouldn't attack me. I haven't any of that lotion on me.
You have now, Doc.
Why did you do that?
To make it a 50-50 proposition, Doc. Now sit down, and don't try any shenanigans. Not so funny when it's your own jugular vein that's in danger. Is it, Doc?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe you made a mistake when you let that devil bat of yours out of the attic tonight. Don't worry about the bat killing you. I'm saving you for the hangman. Tell me, Doc, how did you develop a monster bat like that?
You wouldn't understand the scientific theory.
Chief. What are you doing out here?
Young fellow, don't think that you're the only man working on this case. And it was lucky I was here, too.
Thanks. Did you kill the devil bat?
No, he got away.
Well, here's one bird that didn't get away, and he's the murderer we've both been looking for. Quick, shoot it! Where is it?
It's gone.
And so's the doctor.
Did you get the bat?
What happened? Doc Carruthers is the murderer, and he's hiding somewheres in the garden.
You fellas get back to the house and guard Mary. Come on.
Doctor! Dr. Crothers! Doctor! Has anything happened to Johnny? Is he hurt?
They took him up to my place. You better come along with me.
That was Mary. Are you all right, Mary?
Go help Dr. Carruthers. He's over there.
That devil bat belonged to the doctor, Mary. He created it to commit those murders.
Well, it's too late to help the doc.
Arson. A new murder. Police have found no clue as yet to the identity of the bat. But City Detective Anderson said today it is useless combing the underworld for him. The bat is too intelligent. We will have to look higher.
Oh.
Lizzie, what did you really see last night?
Right over there. I was standing at the top of the staircase. The lights went out, and when I looked down here, I saw an eye. A gleaming eye. And it winked.
That was your chance, Lizzie. A ghost that wanted to flirt with you.
Ghost nothing. How do we know it wasn't the bat?
Because the bat wouldn't come within 1,000 miles of you. You'd scare him to death. Go get some candles. Hello. Give me Union City Police Headquarters, please. Yes. Hello. I'd like to speak to City Detective Anderson, please.
And now, the premiere performance of the Dow Hour of Great Mysteries. Produced by Robert Sordick Associates. The Bat, by Mary Roberts Reinhardt and Avery Hopwood. Starring Helen Hayes, Jason Robards Jr., and Joseph N. Welch as your host.
Who can be calm when a window rattles or a floor creaks and the wind is screaming around the house, especially if you're going to see a mystery story? Mary Roberts Reinhardt wrote some of the American classics in this field, and we are going to begin this series of great mysteries with her play, The Bat. As you will see, the Bat is a very busy fellow. Talented, too. Theft, arson, murder, all in a night's work. He is, in short, one of the master criminals of the 1920s. Those were the days, fond, foolish days, when people loved to be scared by a hidden hand, a sudden scream, and a creaking door. The first time the Bat was produced, the playwrights withheld the last 3 pages of the script so that none of the actors knew which one of them would turn out to be the Bat. Just before the play opened, the actors were given the last 3 pages. And I am told that the actor or actress who turned out to be the Bat was furious. Who wants to be a villain? Will the identity of the Bat fool you? Well, let's see. In our wisdom, let's not begin at midnight when things are at their thickest, but on the morning of the same day as the coffin of banker Courtly Fleming is about to be lowered into its grave.
Secrets of our hearts. Shut not thy merciful ears to our prayer, but spare us, Lord most holy, O God most mighty. O holy and merciful Savior, thou most worthy Judge eternal, suffer us not at our last hour for any pains of death to fall from thee. Amen.
I'll be going out to the house.
You can't. I've rented it to that Miss Van Gorder.
You're a very callous young man. Your uncle's been dead for less than a week.
He wouldn't let it stand idle with that banker's mind of his.
The bank. I've just been there to open up.
Yes?
Gone. The securities are gone. I opened the vaults.
What about Jack Bailey?
The cashier?
I tried to call him. Vanished. No one's seen him since yesterday.
Miss Neely, can't we go back to the city and come back next summer? Because I know what's going to happen to us. We're all going to be murdered in our beds.
You were born on a brick pavement, Lizzie. Anything in the country would frighten you, even the crickets. Ah! Yes, Billy?
New gardener come.
New gardener at this hour? I'll see him in the kitchen. Billy, how long have you worked here for Mr. Fleming?
13 years, missy.
And this is the first time there have ever been disturbances in this house?
Last 2 days only. Find window open, nobody there. Door slam, nobody there.
Let's go to the city.
Lizzie, will you lock the library windows? And Billy, you see that all the outer doors on this floor are locked. And bring me the keys. I'll wait up for my niece. Ah! Lizzie! Oh, see here, Lizzie. I may as well tell you, stop all this foolish screaming. I'm having a detective sent down tonight from police headquarters in the city.
A detective?
Yes. The one in the papers, Mr. Anderson.
Miss Neely, you're keeping something from me. You know more than I do.
I devoutly hope so. I'm not certain I'll need him, but detective work fascinates me. It'll be interesting to see how a good one goes about it. Ah! Now, I asked you to bolt those windows. Gardner?
Yes, madam. Brooks is my name.
You're the man my niece engaged in the city this afternoon?
Yes, madam.
Miss Neely, out on the grounds down by the gate, somebody yelled.
What did they yell?
Just a yell, a terrible yell.
Did you see anyone as you came up the driveway?
No.
Who's he?
You take a liver pill and go to bed. I couldn't verify your references. The Brays are in Canada.
I'm sure if Mrs. Bray were here.
Were you? Are you a professional gardener?
Yes.
Do you know anything about hardy perennials?
Oh, yes. They're the ones that keep their leaves in the winter.
Come over here. Had any experience with rubeola?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Alopecia?
The dry weather is hard on it.
How would you treat urticaria?
I'd thin it.
You'd scratch it, you mean. Young man, urticaria is hives. Rubeola is measles, and alopecia is baldness. Now, why did you tell me that you were a professional gardener? And what are you doing here this hour of the night?
I should never have tried it. I knew you'd find me out. I don't know anything about gardening. The truth is that I was desperate. I had to have work.
That's all?
It's enough when you're broke.
Oh, Billy, have you had anything to eat lately?
Not since this morning.
Billy, give this man something to eat and then show him where he's to sleep. You keep this with you. The local light company crawls under the bed whenever there's a thunderstorm. Good night.
Good night, ma'am, and thank you.
Oh, Miss Neely, have you lost your senses taking a stranger into the house? A good-looking man comes in the door and your brains fly out the window. How do you know he isn't the bat?
That will be Dale. I'll let her in. When the detective comes, we'll put him in the blue room. Go see that it's ready.
Detective, tiptoeing around with his eyes to all the keyholes. Body won't be safe in the tub.
Dale, is that you?
Yes, sir, Cornelia.
Who's with you?
Dr. Wells offered to drive me home from the club.
And how are we this evening, Miss Van Gogh?
Very well, thank you, Doctor. Will you forgive me? I may as well tell you. Last night and the night before, attempts were made to get into this house.
I didn't know how awful.
I don't want to alarm you with it. I'm hoping this fresh air will pick you up. How was the country club tonight, Doctor?
Gloomy. You know the Union Bank closed today.
I heard. You know the story?
It's the usual story. Cashier, young chap named Bailey, looted the place of over $1 million.
How do you know he did it? Couldn't somebody else?
The only other person who had access to those securities was Courtly Fleming. Unfortunately, he's dead.
Oh, Dale, did you know this, Bailey?
Yes, slightly.
Before he died, could Courtly Fleming have robbed his own bank?
Well, if he did, I can testify that he didn't have the money with him in Colorado. I was there. I'd persuade him to take his first vacation in years. And his heart acted up. And I found myself with the unpleasant duty of bringing home the body of my best friend. No, he had his faults, but not that.
What is it? Childish. A paper around a stone.
Wait a minute, huh?
The bolt is on the top there. This is fair warning. Leave the house before anything happens to you.
Well, who do you think wrote it?
A fool, that's who. If anything were calculated to make me stay here, this sort of thing would do it.
Don't let anybody in.
Keep front door, please. Bell ring.
Before you admit the visitor, get his name. And, Billy, if it's Mr. Anderson, you take him into the library.
Anderson?
It's a detective from police headquarters.
A detective?
Not necessary to tell the doctor. I think he's a sort of perambulating bedside gossip.
He got away in the shrubbery.
Would you bolt that door again, please, Doctor?
Oh, of course. Miss Van Gogh, may I speak frankly?
Generally speaking, I detest frankness.
I think you ought to leave the house. Have you any enemies?
Don't insult me. Of course I have. Enemies are an indication of character.
Why don't you stay the night at my house in the village? I can make you comfortable there, or if you won't come, let me stay here.
No, thank you, Doctor. I don't frighten easily.
Be calm. I didn't get far, did I? Who's come?
I don't know. The new gardener, perhaps.
Will you take a parting word of advice? The thing to do with a midnight prowler is leave him alone. Lock your bedroom doors and don't let anything bring you out till morning.
Oh.
Good night, then.
Good night, Doctor. Billy will let you out. Good night, Doctor.
They've traced me here?
Anthony had him come. People have been trying to break in here at night.
That proves it. I know what happened.
What?
Courtly Fleming took that money, hid it here, and somebody knows he did.
Why didn't you go to the police and tell them that?
Do you think they'd have believed me? Do you believe me? Dale, I didn't take that money.
Well, of course you didn't. Here, Mr. Anderson. It was smashed just a few minutes ago.
Good, clean fun, isn't it? Someone wants to get you out of here, all right. Do you mind if I move this? We ought to have some kind of barricade. Anyone could reach his hand through and open the latch. You women are here alone?
I have this. I don't know much about it. But I should be able to hit something.
Would you mind putting that away? I like to get in the papers as much as anybody, but not on that page.
I've been reading your statement tonight about the bat.
You don't think he's trying to get in here?
Someone is, for some reason.
Any liquor stored in the house?
Yes.
What?
11 bottles of homemade elderberry wine.
You're safe. Anyway, you can always tell when the bat has anything to do with a crime. He always signs his name to it.
His name?
It's a figure of speech. The newspapers started calling him the bat because he always works at night and very fast. In the last 6 months, he's taken up the name himself. Pure bravado. Sometimes he just draws the outline of a bat to leave his signature. Once, he got a hold of a real bat and nailed it to the wall.
Oh, there they go again. I should tell you one thing more. This house belonged to the late Courtly Fleming.
Oh, the Union Bank.
Yes, could there possibly be any connection between these disturbances and that bank theft today?
I'll tell you how headquarters figures it. In the first place, the cashier is missing. In the second place, if Courtly Fleming robbed his own bank and got as far as Colorado with the money, he'd have had it on him. In the third place, suppose he had hidden the money around this house. Why would he rent the house to you?
He didn't. I rented it from his nephew. Now, I've read a great deal about crime detection.
I'm sure you have.
And,
There are a lot of amateur detectives crawling around the country these days trying to tell the police how to do their jobs. Now, you go to bed and get a good night's sleep. I'll stay up and keep an eye on things.
Very well. Would you like some coffee to keep you awake?
No, thank you. Don't need it.
Good night.
Did you ask Dick Fleming to come tonight?
Yes, he was at the club. What do you want me to find out from him?
Now listen, one time at the bank, quite by accident, I heard the old man say there was a blocked-off room somewhere in the house. I say that's where the money is.
Would Dick Fleming know about the room?
He might. If only I had a blueprint of this place. I've only got one night to work in.
Yes. Spooky place in the dark, isn't it?
Yes.
Was it you I just heard?
I guess so. I'm Miss Van Gorder's niece, Dale Ogden. You're not going to stay up all night, are you?
I may. Why?
Oh, nothing.
Yes? Yes, this is Anderson. Rotten connection. Go ahead. You're sure of that, are you? I see. Do you know the cashier at the Union Bank? No. No? That was headquarters. They've just searched Bailey's rooms and they found some letters there from you.
Very well. We're engaged.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
It's been a secret. I haven't even told my aunt yet. How can the police be so stupid as to accuse Jack Bailey? Do you think he'd wreck his future like that?
It pushed me. It's the eye. I was coming out of the bathroom. It's gone upstairs, top floor.
Got past you, did he? Come into my room, Lizzie. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry to trouble you.
You mind if I smoke?
No. Come into the library.
What's all the mystery? Why did you want me to...
Mr. Fleming, I'm going to say something brutal, but I have to. You see, I am engaged to Jack Bailey. Yes. He hasn't run away. He's in this house. He's here because he knows he didn't take the money, and the only person who could have taken it is your uncle.
That's not a nice thing to say about a dead man.
It's true.
And you think I know where it is?
There's a hidden room. There's a blocked-off room in this house.
Oh, boy, this is good. Hey, let me get it straight now. There's a hidden room, and the money's in it, is that it?
Do you know where there are any blueprints to the house?
Blueprints? Why, yes, there may be some. Have you looked in that telephone table in the hall?
No.
Well, here, why don't you go see?
Oh, thank you. Going to let me see it?
Well, I don't know. Give me 3 good reasons why I should.
If you won't give it to me, give it to the detective and let him search.
Detective? Here? What for?
Well, people have been trying to break in
What
here.
What people?
I don't know.
Imagine that. They must be here.
What are you doing?
Miss Ogden, suppose I needed money badly. It's happened before, you know. Suppose I choose to believe that my dear departed uncle left me some cash right here in this house. Now, why would I give it away?
If you go out of this room with that paper, I will scream for help.
And the detective will come running, and I'll tell him that Jack Bailey is right here where he wants him. You won't do that.
Oh, Mr. Fleming. Mr. Fleming, please. Mr. Fleming. I want that blueprint. Now give it to me. Give it. Oh!
He's dead. Who is he?
Richard Fleming. Somebody shot him.
What do you mean by somebody?
Somebody up there. It looked like a bat. I told you man went up that staircase.
I've been all over the house. There was nobody. But we have something odd here, Miss Van Gorder. Courtleigh Fleming's nephew was shot in this house on the very day the bank fails, and the only person with him is your niece.
Well?
Who was engaged to the missing cashier.
Is this true, Dale? Yes, but I didn't do it. I didn't.
No one said you did. There's someone else in this house, Mr. Anderson.
I don't think so. But if it will make you any happier, you go over the... Wait a minute. Who's this?
The gardener.
I've seen you somewhere. Not in the portrait gallery at headquarters, are you?
Not yet.
Well, we don't need any gardening done at the moment. I have work to do. You two, go over the place thoroughly.
If I can just take this revolver.
No, I will take care of the revolver. Thank you. This yours?
It's mine.
One shot has been fired.
I fired it myself this afternoon.
You're a quick thinker. What was Fleming doing here?
I don't know.
Well, I'll ask the question another way. How did he get into the house?
Through the front door. He had a key. He used to live here.
What were you doing with this revolver?
I heard him outside. I was frightened.
When he came in, what did he say to you?
Nothing. He just came in and...
And was shot from above? Is that your story?
Yes.
Are these questions necessary? Surely you don't think for a moment that Miss Ogden killed that man.
I think she knows more than she's telling us. You stay here.
Dale, are you doing something foolish because you're engaged to that cashier?
Auntie, don't ask me that. That part of it's true. There was a shot and he just fell over.
Yes?
Oh, I'm Dr. Wells.
Oh, doctor. Good. I'll need your help.
Why?
Anderson, city police. Will you come in here?
Of course, but what's happened? Who?
Richard Fleming, Doctor.
Dick Fleming?
Shot and killed from the staircase.
Shot and killed, anyhow.
From the staircase? What was Dick doing here at this hour?
I think Miss Ogden can tell us. She was here when it happened.
He died instantly, I suppose. Didn't have time to say anything.
No.
Mr. Anderson, this proves that my fears were correct. Will you use your influence to see that these two ladies are taken to some safer spot for the night?
Joe, what about me? Oh, I wish the lights would go out and just stay out forever.
Lizzie, go make some coffee.
Miss Ogden, what papers did you and Richard Fleming burn here tonight?
Papers?
Papers. The ashes are still in the fireplace.
My niece said he didn't even go into the living room.
I hold in my hand proof that he was in the living room for some time. His cigarette with his monogram on it. Furthermore, there are edges of blueprint in that fireplace. What were you and Dick Fleming doing with the blueprint?
All right, I will tell you what happened. I sent for Richard Fleming, and when he came, I asked him where there were any blueprints to the house.
Why did you want blueprints?
Because I believed that old Mr. Fleming took the money from the Union Bank himself and hid it here.
How did you get that idea?
I won't tell you.
Well, what did blueprints have to do with it?
I'd heard that there was a hidden room built into this house.
And did you locate that room?
No.
Well, why did you burn the blueprints?
He burned them. I don't know why.
Mr. Anderson, with your permission, I would like to move the body.
Yes, and I'll want a report, Doctor, on the direction of the wound.
Find nobody. Gardner disappeared. No find him now.
Billy, the doctor will need your assistance. I suggest the library, Doctor.
The truth now, Miss Ogden? Did he burn all the blueprints?
Yes, all of it.
All right, then. That means he must have located the room first. It was upstairs, wasn't it? He knew it was upstairs. So did you. He started to go toward that staircase.
He was going to take the money and go away with
Dale,
it.
be careful what you say.
He changed the minute he heard about it. He was going to be
You wanted to
helpful
find
before.
the money to save Bailey, but in order to do it, you had to take young Fleming into your confidence. He double-crossed you. Rather than let him get away with it, didn't you kill him? Then why didn't you call for help? You knew I was here.
I couldn't.
This girl is nearly hysterical. Mr. Anderson, I forbid you to question her any further. I shall want time and perhaps legal advice before I will permit
If
another...
I could find that room for you, if I could locate that hidden room for you, would that establish Jack Bailey's
If
innocence?
the money were there, yes.
Dale, you must let me handle this. Mr. Anderson, you're skipping a step. If that shot was fired from above, then Dale had nothing to do with it.
We'll find out. Doctor, have you examined the wound?
Straight to the heart.
Any powder marks?
No. He was apparently shot from some little distance, and I should say from above.
You see, Mr. Anderson?
You, get me that gardener. Now, don't tell me he's disappeared. Go find him.
I wonder if this has any meaning. I picked it up on my way to the house just now. Man's watch, partially crushed into the ground. And you see it stopped running.
Yes, at 10:30.
Looked like there'd been a struggle. The gravel was all torn up.
It was 10:30 when Lizzie heard someone cry out on the ground.
I don't suppose it has any bearing on the case, but it's just...
Is that Billy?
He ran into the kitchen.
Is that all you're going to say? We can't help you. Doctor, see what you can do with him. He's paralyzed with fright.
Jack, everything's gone wrong.
Well, Mr. Rubiola, alopecia, urticaria, otherwise Bailey. If that fool of a detective were as smart as he thinks he is, he'd have had you an hour ago. Now, Dale, is there a piece of blueprint that wasn't burned?
Yes.
Where is it?
I don't know. The cat he had it in his hand when he started up the stairs. It's not there now.
How do you know?
Well, after Dr. Wells went into the kitchen, I looked myself.
I see. Well, it's perfectly clear, isn't it? Dr. Wells has the blueprint. Now, all we have to do is keep him from going up those stairs.
Why Dr. Wells?
My dear girl, who has been standing guard over the body ever since he came in here?
I think that Billy's crazy.
Someday I want to meet the real estate man who told me I'd sleep in this house as I never slept before. I have. I've slept with my clothes on every single night. Brooks, would you get me some wood for the fire?
Yes, madam. You don't suppose your servants are deliberately seeing spooks in order to frighten you out of the house?
I do not. Oh, Doctor! Dr. Will?
Yes?
Doctor, you wouldn't have some sleeping powders with you. I'm afraid we're all going to need them tonight.
In my bed. I don't usually recommend these drugs, and I'd much rather you simply left the house, but I'll get some.
You called him off the staircase and sent him away deliberately. Why?
Ever try to knit when you wanted to think?
I don't need knitting to think straight, thank you.
I wonder. You have so much evidence you don't know what to do with. Ever hear the story about the man who took a clock apart, and when he put it together again, he had enough left over to make another clock?
All right. You're getting at something. What?
Why, you have been annoying Dale with your questions. I, too, have not been idle. Now, it's perfectly evident to me that one intelligence has been at work behind the things that have happened in this house.
Who?
I'll ask you that. Someone who, knowing Courtly Fleming well, also knew of the hidden room. Someone who, finding me an occupation of the house, tried to get rid of me, first by frightening me and then by urging me to go. Someone who very possibly entered this house shortly before the murder tonight and slipped up that staircase.
The doctor?
Earlier this evening, I asked Dr. Wells to bolt that terrace door. He pretended to, but I don't think he did it. He meant to return later himself. And there's another thing I'll tell you. There is a piece of blueprint.
What?
Yes, Dale lied to you. You're not really very successful with women, Mr. Anderson. I'll give you some pointers later. Oh, over here, Lizzie.
You don't honestly think you need a detective, do you?
I am a humble follower in your footsteps. Richard Fleming had the blueprint when he started up the stairs. It's not in his hands now. The doctor has taken very good care of him.
I see. I think I shall have to have a few words with our busy friend.
The window! It's closing.
Why don't you put that streak down the bed?
Why don't you find out if someone's out there?
Lizzie, what's the matter?
The window! It's closed.
Doctor, I'm going to put these women to bed. If you'll give me... Thank
One
you.
powder will do. Miss Van Gorder, you can still stay the night at my house. You know, discretion is the better part of valor.
I have been discreet for 60 years, and sometimes I think it was a mistake. Come.
I'll trouble you for that blueprint, Doctor.
What blueprint?
The one you just failed to throw in the fireplace. Now, this situation is between you and me, Dr. Wells. It has nothing to do with that poor fool of a cashier. He didn't take the money, and you know it. It's hidden in this house, and you know that, too. Were you at the top of the staircase when Dick Fleming was shot?
I was not. I haven't been upstairs in this house in 3 months.
Upstairs? So that's where the hidden room is.
I didn't say that.
Pick it up. Put it on the table. Now stand back. Behind the fireplace, huh? Which fireplace? In what room?
I haven't the faintest idea.
All right. I'll find out.
I never saw him before. Do you recognize him? Anyone?
Oh, is he badly hurt?
Oh, hard to tell. I think not. Water. You're all right now, my friend. Water. You're a little dizzy, that's all. Water.
Water. Billy, get some water.
Whiskey'd be better.
There's some whiskey in my room, Billy.
Yes, he didn't close it. I know.
Now, my man, you're among friends. Face up. What happened to you?
I'm dazed. I don't remember.
Why doesn't somebody ask him his name?
What's your name?
Look at his papers.
Where's Anderson? This is a police matter. I'll see if I can find him.
No. Help me with this. He'll be back in a minute. He was here a moment ago. He has no papers, nothing.
There they go again.
Here's the candle, quick. Oh, and there are some others in the library. Will you get them, Brooke?
The door's locked.
Locked. Quickly, go around through the hallway.
What's happening? We're locked in this room. Bring your camera.
Come on. It's Is every man in this house a hopeless incompetent? How could we be locked in? Now we know he's in the house. Will you gentlemen search all the rooms? Or must I do it myself?
Billy, you take the second floor. I'll go all the way up. Go to your rooms. I'll account for everything down here.
Lizzie, will you stop sticking to me like a mustard plaster? Found anything?
You should be in your room. It isn't safe.
But you might want this.
What room is this?
It's the storeroom, nothing but trunks.
The window's open. The 40-foot drop to the ground. He couldn't have. What?
Candle grease, it's hot. And there's more of it. It's down on the floor. Where does it lead?
Right. To the fireplace. Why the fireplace?
That's what we're going to find out.
Get in here. Lock this door. What are you doing running around loose by yourself? Where is everybody?
They're searching the house. There's no sign of anybody. Oh, it's Lizzie's head. There ought to be something you pull or push or... Oh! Merciful heavens. Jack, be careful.
Nobody home. We've got the money. It's empty. The money's gone. Well, that settles me.
I saw the bat. He went down the hall. He was 8 feet tall and had a face like a demon. Did you see his face? It was all black.
A mask. Come on.
Yes, you stay here with Lizzie. I'll send Billy up to you. There's a candle there. Lizzie. See if we got a match. Here. Have him. I'm not going to stay here in the dark. If I'm going to die, I want to die downstairs. Lizzie! You have a light.
What did you lock that door for? I heard your voices. I was coming through the window.
Coming in the window, just like a bat.
I saw the light up here from
Where's
downstairs.
Dale? What did you do with it?
Mantle's closed.
Dale!
Yes, Doctor, we found the hidden room.
Did you
I
close
see
it?
You knew where it was.
No, I didn't. Is Dale in there? Dale!
Here, open it.
Dale!
Oh. Oh, quick matches. Doctor, why did you put out that candle?
I didn't.
You did, I saw
Doctor! She's here! Hurry, quick!
Oh, Miss Dealey, I can't stand this. My teeth are chattering. Take them out and put them in your pocket. Oh.
You're lucky. She's only fainted. She'll be all right in a minute. I'll get something from downstairs. You took my revolver from me downstairs, Doctor. I'd like to have it back now.
That's right. Come in when everything's over. Here she's coming around. Mr. Anderson, we found her locked in that room.
Dale? Can you tell us?
I hid in there. And then he came in. And he said, don't move or I'll kill you.
You know who that man was? Do you? No, I don't.
I do. It was the bat.
Oh, stop harping on the bat. No, Miss Van Gorder, we'll ask the doctor who took the money out of the safe. We'll ask the doctor who attacked me downstairs, knocked me senseless, and locked me in the library. The next time you put handcuffs on a man, Doctor, be sure you take the key out of his pocket. All right, now where's that money?
I don't know.
You knew it was in this room?
Yes, I knew that.
You'd been up here earlier tonight.
No, I couldn't get up.
But you knew who took it? Who? All right, Doctor. This time, I'll do the locking up.
Wait! A man just came through the skylight and went down the stairway.
Where?
Down the stairs. Help him, Doctor. Oh, oh. What did you see?
I didn't see anything. I had to get that dreaded detective out of the way before he wasted any more time. By the time he gets back, I may have a little surprise party for him.
What's this? And you don't think the doctor's done all this?
Of course not. He's just guilty enough to look more guilty than he is. But the man who was locked in there with you, Dale, is the man who killed Dick Fleming and took that money. Now, one thing is clear. When we first came in here tonight, we frightened him away. But there's a question. Why did he come back? All in all, I think there's only one answer to that question.
You think the money's still here?
I do. You search that side of the room. There.
Courtney Fleming.
He's dead. But his body's still warm.
Billy's ghost. Oh, quick, his wristwatch. Does it have a luminous dial?
Yes.
Ah, that's Lizzie's moving eye.
Then he couldn't have died in Colorado.
Of course not. He and the doctor had a nice little plan. He robbed his own bank. The doctor courteously wrote out a death certificate and brought back an empty coffin while Fleming hid up here. They meant to split the proceeds, but unfortunately Dick Fleming wasn't cut in on it, and he foolishly rented the house to me. We got in their way.
And did he kill Dick? Well, who killed him? The doctor?
The doctor doesn't even know he's dead. Why do you suppose he put this candle out a few minutes ago? He thought Courtney Fleming was behind the mantel with Dale, and he wanted to give him a chance to get away. But he wasn't there. He was dying. But the man who killed him and killed Dick Fleming was the man who was in there with Dale.
Who?
The bat.
Go, detective.
Not yet. Close the door. No one can help Courtney Fleming now, and I'm not through yet.
Oh, I am. I am through. I'm going to get my coat together, and I'm going to pack my suitcase, and I am going to... Ivy! Whose bag is that? Mine! It was mine!
The money. It is.
Jack! Jack, everything will be all right now! Fire!
The garage. The garage is burning. Not a sound out of you.
Close that bag and put it back where you found it.
Why, you...
Jack!
Do what he tells you.
He's the bat.
Blow out that candle.
I'm going to scream. I can't help it.
Put that woman in the mantel room and shut it.
I'll go. I'll be glad to go.
Now, not a sound if you value your lives. In a moment or two, a man will come into this room, probably through that window. A man who started the fire to draw you out of this house.
Can't you at least let the women go?
Are you crazy? I want to keep them here where we can watch them. Don't you understand?
I have understood very clearly for the past hour. The man who killed Dick Fleming and that poor wretch in there, the man who locked us in downstairs and stole the money, the man who started that fire is...
Stand up, Mr. Bat, so I can put on the bracelets. Sometimes the cleverest bat flies through the wrong window. Theft, arson, murder. That's a good night's work, even for you.
Mr. Anderson! No. This is Mr. Anderson.
That's right. This man has been impersonating me. He jumped me in the driveway, knocked me out, and tied me up in the garage. You're a good actor, Mr. Bat. How did you know I was coming? Did you tap the wires at headquarters?
I'll tell you that when I...
All right, all of you, get your hands up. You, do what I say.
Why, I took the bullets out of that revolver 2 hours ago.
Bat! I'll put a hole in your back if you move. You never can tell what a woman will do.
As it happens, I didn't. The first lie in an otherwise stainless life.
Oh, hello, back already? This is Don O'Malley with Don's Breakfast Cereal Show. I hope you enjoyed what we did to the Devil's Bat for this Halloween special. We plan on doing the same thing to a Thanksgiving special and a Christmas special. So I hope you'll tune in. Well, I hope you'll see you next week also. So stay safe and thanks again. Good night, folks.